CTV is a valuable advertising channel because it's the biggest screen in the house. If you want to reach the users where they're at, where they're in their living room, you go to connected television or TV in general. But traditional linear television is scaling down over time. Only 30% of the households in the United States currently have traditional linear television, and it's going down year after year. 83% of the houses have connected television, and that's where you want to reach them. If you want addressable audiences, which you can only get in CTV after the deprecation of the cookie, that's where you reach your audience.
But it's not all cake and roses, obviously, and there's a couple of issues facing CTV. In your opinion, what's the biggest issue facing CTV advertising right now?
The biggest issue facing CTV advertising is duplication of ads. It's not prominent across all platforms, but this is how people think about CTV. I keep seeing the same ad again. I keep seeing the same brand. I'm frustrated as a user. If you look at Samsung TV Plus, when you get a new Samsung TV, the user is directed automatically to Samsung TV Plus. I hear all the time that people don't realize they're watching CTV. They think that they're watching traditional linear television as soon as they turn on their TV. And that's the experience we want to have in the industry. For connected television to have that name of, hey, I'm just sitting back watching television at home, and having that be our goal is both the biggest challenge and the biggest opportunity.
Is it a technical challenge, the sort of duplication issue? Is it a business challenge, or is it a mix of both?
The duplication issue is a mix of both, a technical and a business challenge. So you can deduplicate based on a creative ID or a media file URL, but these things aren't always passed in the bid stream. So if you don't have a creative ID that you can deduplicate on, you have to go to the media file URL. And sometimes those things get a bit convoluted and they're difficult to parse through as well. So that's one problem. The other problem is diverse demand. So if you don't have a lot of demand backed up, you might get one campaign that keeps hitting that user over and over again.
So if you had any advice for publishers, how can they help ensure that users have a quality experience?
For publishers, we really want to make sure that people stay seated watching the show that they're interested in without thinking about the ad break, right? They want to have their users enjoy their user experience, not add frustration and add friction, because that's going to drive them back to another channel to enjoy their content.
And then if you were going to give an advice to an advertiser about kind of building that ideal ad break, what would you tell them?
For an advertiser who wants to build the ideal ad break, it's the same advice I'd give to a publisher. They want to work with a partner who's going to make sure that their ads are deduplicated, that they're competitively separated, that they have all the same controls that they have in traditional linear television, so that their budgets are spent the best they can be.
So we can't have a conversation about CTV without talking about the big M, and that's measurement. What's the state of measurement in CTV?
The state of measurement in CTV is really growing right now. So the Open Measurement SDK was just developed by the IAB Tech Lab in version 1.4, and it will allow viewability, TV on tracking, as well as user engagement, such as, are you still watching? Did you change the channel? Did you open a menu? Did you close the menu? And those timestamps will be available to be passed down to third-party measurement vendors so that we can have attention and engagement. Those things don't exist in CTV today. So we're tracking things like the quartiles of the ads to make sure that people are still watching. You have the different quartiles, the first, second, third, fourth, complete. And you have the vast events. So just making sure that you can see that the IP is not a bot or the app bundle is a valid app bundle. So going outside of that simple measurement is really what's going to help our industry grow.
Guess my last question would be, what's the single thing, the single sort of most technical piece of the equation that you think needs to be improved to help sort of fulfill that measurement potential?
It's actually not a technical requirement that's going to prevent people from onboarding Open Measurement SDK. It's a business decision. So because it's an SDK, the publishers have to decide to put it on their roadmap. It's going to take them 6 to 8 weeks of engineering work and effort to put it through. They have to have a measurement partner who wants to measure it, a brand who wants to spend on it. So it's more of a business problem than a technical problem. But as soon as you get one publisher, one agency ready to make that deal, the floodgates are going to open because people are going to see the potential of what that'll enable.
Seems like it's all about collaboration.
That's right.